your decisions in the past, they were all right, but every decision you're making now for the future is that's the crucial part. We can't blame ourselves for past decisions, but sometimes the luck is not in our hands, and sometimes we intuitively doing some we're picking some ways to live, and then we fuck up. And the only thing you can actually predict in this life is you can't predict nothing, but you actually can predict the outcomes based on your past. If you feel some kind of way, so you feel that that's the moment, I'm going with alignment with my plan, it's all working out. You have to analyze first and try and experiment with what you have. Really coming down to your business moves, or you're coming down to your life decisions. Like I said, sometimes you feel stuck. You need an insight. You need a real insight to go further. And so this insight is not coming, it can't pop up in your brain out of nowhere. Every life experience is different, but sometimes we need to kind of fumble the plan and experiment with something new. And sometimes it even degrades us. The plan, the experiment, it degrades us and makes us even more weak. But anyway, the fun fact is to predict future, to predict the outcome, the higher chance of the outcome that has a higher chance of manifesting in your life. You have to analyze your past. And it doesn't mean repeating the past. It means analyzing and looking at the direction. Kind of like opens up your direction. The skill to see the direction, if you're going in the right direction or not. You can't predict fully what's going to happen. But sometimes intuition, it can all fuck with your brain very much, because you can feel the desire or to do something, to make a move. With the intuition, you're falsely identifying it with you're identifying intuition falsely with, I say, just an impulsive decision out of fantasy defense, or some defense, or some magical thinking. That's the craziest part of it. That's the craziest part. And like I said, every situation is different, but it all comes in with your mind. It all really comes with your mindset, and your mindset is a tricky thing. It might recommend you to behave as an old self, and it doesn't necessarily means that it's wrong. You just have a certain mood about the state you have right now, but that doesn't mean you need to act on it. That's what I'm doing the last video I was doing it. You have to act on it in logical alignment with your own life. The situation could feel, that's a lesson I learned from being in a narcissistic family and things like that. You always gotta be cold and self-aware. That's what it teach me. And also I am formed like this because I'm a covert BPD. I am a psychopath. I am cold and calculated. And now, after I was mortified, the old states coming. I buried some old states that was in my mind. I buried it for a moment because to survive, my mind picked the weak. We can't say it's weak, but it's really weak pattern and state, being a classic BPD. Because it's kind of distorted classic BPD for me. Kind of weak. It still makes you weak after modification. It makes you weak. It has to be a positive kind of modification to reverse you. It's a very, very crazy thing, because after you modify, you have to have some positive change, and that positive change has to lead to somewhat adequate outcomes, so you can reward yourself, so you can reward your mind and shit. It could be a decade of survival, easily. You can have the same amount of money, but the system is collapsed. That's coming from understanding it's all narcissistic systems, but it's also coming from understanding. And by the way, I casually eat McDonald's and just telling you something really you can't really learn at school and learn at some fucking garbage ass universities that led me to modification in the first place. Because I really was in a crisis, because I really spent so much time learning nothing. Vending in real world and got the fucking troubles and problems. And that's the meaning of being green. Being green is being like a beginner in the game, or like just an NPC. You out in the real world, you don't know shit what to do. The same comes from, you know what I'm saying? Also about the fantasy defense. And a lot of people fly. By the way, the McDonald's is boosting my top brainstorming process. People rely on this financial, social institutes, but they don't understand one thing. If you're weak and you are not goal-oriented, this system is not going to bring you up. You're not going to grow. So a lot of people just rely on having a diploma or rely on being. You have to make this thing work. It's not like you're in the system and just system does everything for you. Oh, you get money now, and that's not how the life works. I bet there's some people who live like that, and they're just lucky. I believe in. There's definitely some people who are effortlessly living, and I really envy them. It's just like a good envy. I'm jealous. It's not envy. I'm jealous of them. Somebody can look at me and say, "Oh, he's effortlessly living like this." It's kind of the levels to that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the system can elevate you, and it's not easy. It's not like guaranteed that you got the job, you got that. It's not guarantees you the actual benefit from it. It could be destructive. You could miss out on different opportunities. There's a intuition process of picking your road that you're going by in career, even in life too. Picking your vibe. That's the same kind of process. Who's gonna be mother of your kids? Is she gonna, or you gonna discard her, and do you want to marry her? It's type shit like that. It's all about the strategy. But this, and I'm having a real dissonance, bro. Having a real dissonance. There's a mixed emotions. At some point, I feel like I'm not normal as I'm cluster B. And I understand that I really self-destructed. This whole time I was like, but at the same time, there's some inner processes going on, voices or whatever that shit is. All this thing matters. The span, I'm saying, not the span, the life, the way your life build. And there's some consequences to that. And if it was wrong or not, there's still gonna be consequences. There's still gonna be some outcome from your road. Like I said, you choose. You can unintentionally, unconsciously do some right moves that really, but you take accountability for that. You are, let's say, that's your choice. And I understand that it comes with me being covered borderline and taking responsibility. I'm egocentric, and I know that I'm gonna. There's defense code. There's inner defense. You say I'm controlling it, the world is not. Or at the same time, there could be a different defense where the world is doing it, not me. But at the same time, I feel like it was factual. I control my narrative. I control what leads to what. You can't predict. You can die. Like I said, everybody from age fucking 0. I was listening to the same phrase about my figure about older figures. You can die tomorrow just by walking out the door, and the fucking brick falls on your head. I'm saying that's kind of shit we experiencing in life. It's unpredictable. Nobody can guarantee you the outcome if it's not happening yet. I'm saying it's not happening yet. To make it happen, you have to have a play going on. You have to have a certain play going on. It's like a chess game, but it's not that logical in a sense because there's a lot of factors. I'm saying it's not only politics. It's not only finance. It's not only people. You can't just blame shift everybody. You can't just blame yourself. It's just I was thinking about it the whole time, but this whole month I was thinking about it because I had the crazy deja vu feeling, and I finally reverted to convert BPD. I'm finally kind of feeling the same as I was feeling like 7-8 years ago. It's a crazy feeling. I don't know. It's a very crazy feeling because it's a absolute opposite of what I was experiencing in like a fucking 2-3 months ago. That's how crazy that is. And I forgot what I wanted to say, but at the same time, I'm thinking that, and it's my channel, I can do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? I can fucking eat. Nobody watching it anyway. But anyway, it's for future generations. Nobody watching me right now because that's the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Of my life. But at the same time, I had deja vu feeling, right? And the way life forced me to, the way that stress, it's not common for to say normal people that have persona, that have structured consciousness. But the way I experience it is stress led me to absolutely express everything inside of me, and I reconstructed myself. But while I was reconstructing myself from the fucking 0, there was like a miracle going on of me being reverted to the same fucking phase with new kind of meaning and new knowledge, but the same self state, or you could say like a schema, or just a mood overall. Your connection to the life is just different. But you can simplify it by saying it's just a different psychological condition, and it's a way healthier condition. And what's amazed me is that I was struggling and going through some shit. I was in a kind of different stress and the different kinds of, and I can't certainly say that this is because of him, this is because of him, because I understand this is my defense. And I can't say that, oh, that's because I was alone. I was trying some multiple situations in my life when I was trying to live alone. But turned out this particular situation, when it's happened in my city that I fucking hate, I hate my city. And I was talking about it in my previous video. It's just like a normal life, nothing special. I'm not embracing nothingness. I'm not really awaiting something in the future. I'm not. It's just, but at the same time, I have a fantasy. But at the same time, it's worked for me as it worked for me more perfectly and more perfectly with me, with my road, as it worked for as I was trying in different cities and different internet. I don't know what actually led to what, and there was definitely more happier situations in my life. Because right now it's not a very big. If I'm being honest, it's not like the happiest situation in my life. It's just the point of me being reverted out of sudden. It's just like this demon is out of me. It's really out of me. This fucking demon. And this demon, it was just like a weak individual. I can't explain how, but this demon led me to a lot of crises in my life. And this demon is definitely weak, absolutely weak individual. I can't just blame shift and say, oh, that's because of my father, he have a narcissist, because of my mother, because we all changed. It's just like a family shift. But at the same time, I can't say that's the modification. I could just assume that this is modification of a family system in my life. But at the same time, the world changed somehow. I feel it. It's like a tiny feeling. It's a tiny signaling that you can hear. You can hear it and you understand it. But at the same time, from this self state that I experiencing, I want to connect with some people that I was, like, let's say 10 years ago, I was talking with the same amount of people, this kind of people. And right now I want to reconnect with them because, and I'm not, it's not happening for me. It's just something stopping me connecting with these people. It's just like, I have more strength now. I can see my fragmented, stressed out mind can see the clean details, and my intuition work kind of better because that's why my subconscious is telling me you don't want to connect. My fantasy telling me, oh, you need to connect. You know what I'm saying? Or you need to reconnect. Let's say you wasn't as stressed. These people was having their problems, and that maybe that's why. I understand you have shared interests. You have old past experiences, but 3-4 months ago it was working for me absolutely. I have this, oh, I need to go this way. Previously, the memory came back to me, but it's just like I started to be strong at the point where maybe I reconstructed myself and healed, and just even went in and just this modification on top of it healed me. Just a very severe process of things that you can't just fake it or do the same. You can't just do the same. You can't plan this. If it was a key to that, key to situation in family, key to, it's not like you, oh, I don't want to talk with him. It's just about, it's not role changing, but it's the same. It's definitely have some play with the role. It's like your role changed and you're not desiring what you have desired. It's just insane. I feel more cleaner in terms of thinking. And my intuition, like I said, is working way better than before. Maybe that's the key. And you can't just rebuild this situation. That's, like I said, that's the kind of miracle. You can't rebuild it. It's just like working. Sometimes it's just working. It's just working. And if it wasn't working, you was thinking, I'm lacking this. I'm lacking something. But it's not necessarily this one thing. It could be like a whole assemblance of things that is not in place. But to be is like this tennis hand with the diamonds on it, you know what I'm saying, with the rocks on it. It's like you have this all 5. But it's kind of crazy, bro. It's just insane to understand this. And it's just like you dive in more into that psychology. You're just being flabbergasted by the amount of things we're not controlling. This guy named Professor named Sam Beckman made a video about self, ego states, sub persona, sub identity, soul, and things like that. No, he's not talking about soul, but anyway, he was making this video, and I understood that there's this inner critic, some really you can't heal the mind just by taking a pill. You can't heal the mind just by giving yourself space. You could hear, but no, you could heal, but at the same time, you could fumble it. You can degrade it. At some point, you can. The decision, like the same decision that I was moving out, right? It was for me like a good decision, but I degrade myself. I was just like degrading myself, not knowing it, not knowingly. It was my intuition that told me wrong, or the situations that went in my life wasn't wasn't like all assembled in a thing that in a line that I needed. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a line. It's just a fucking crazy mess. And you could say that, oh, maybe if you had $1 million, it's still a game. Maybe go and buy a right lottery ticket. That's kind of thing. That's what life brings you, to the table. Life brings you the surprise, the magic of, I would say, not seen. That's how you can even describe your future. It's not seen and not experienced yet, but it's in the making. So that's what life is gonna handle to you. And go and fucking buy a lottery ticket, write a lottery ticket. Go and if it's easy, nobody says that is like a low percentage of chance to win the lottery ticket, but you have to make a move to buy it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit there and fantasize. Every action takes a fucking uh, wake up call. You know what I'm saying? Every action, you have to wake up and do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to wake up and do it. Get up and do it. Every action needs the movement. That's kind of thing. I'm just.